a circle as a base, a square, whatever. Because then you're going to get more specific. Now, let's assume that I call this the base. All right? It's sitting on the bottom of the box. Then that means that the base of my object is a rectangle, right? Okay, so I need 2 times the area of a rectangle, and I'm going to say length times width, just to not have a bunch of heights in there, plus the perimeter of a rectangle. How do you find perimeter of a rectangle? Multiplied by the height of the whole object. Okay? All right. What's the length and the width of my bottom red thing that I've drawn out? 12 and 3. 12 and 3. How did I get 3? Well, this is also a rectangle over here, and opposite sides are equal. So this is 12, this is 3. All right, so 12 times 3 is 36. The perimeter of my base is 12 times 2, because there's 2 of them, plus 3 times 2. So 24 plus 6 is 30. And I need to multiply that by the height of the whole object, which is the distance between those two. And then you do the math.
Wait. Perimeter is 30.
And this is area. So it is squared, feet squared, or inches squared, or whatever your dimensions are, squared. Total area. Now tonight you're going to be asked for shapes to find 3 things. First the lateral, then the total, then the volume. Well, if you start with finding the lateral area, in your next step, all you have to do is add that to the base done twice. Okay? So you don't have to recalculate the lateral area again. You're going to have already calculated it. But it's important to know the formula because you may have a question on the test that just says, what's the total area?
Will it tell you what the base is?
Yes. No. Well, you will have to identify the base. Okay?
Can we choose any base?
In a triangular prism, it has to be the triangle.
In a rectangle, we can use any base.
In a rectangular, you can use anything. All right? In a cylinder, your base is a circle.
If it's
In a hexagonal, your base is a hexagon.
Could your base be a rectangle?
No. You have to use the more complex shape. Okay? And on and on and on. All right. And then finally tonight, you're going to be finding the volume of these right solids, or these prisms. And this is a generic formula that applies to any right solid, which would be something with a triangular base, a pentagonal base, an octagonal base, even a circular base. Because the little b here is simply identifying what kind of shape your base is. All right? So let's say that we had a water trough. And we are trying to figure out, it doesn't look too good, how much water can be held in that water trough. It's really not looking too good. It's a little bit better. Okay? If we want to know how much water we can put in the water trough, then do we need to know the lateral area, the total area, or the volume? We need to know the volume. All right. Well, what kind of shapes do I have making up the sides of this trough? Rectangles and trapezoids. Which one's more complicated? A trapezoid. Okay. So to find the volume, I'm going to need the area of a trapezoid multiplied by the height of this object, which would be the distance between the two trapezoids. Well, suppose this trough is 2 feet long. Okay?
It's not very big.
No, it's not. It's a baby trough. It's for calves, not cows. All right. How do you find the area of a trapezoid?
1/2 base times height. No, that's not right.
Well, we need to know and remember how to find the area of a trapezoid. And then we need to multiply that whole thing times the height of the object. All right, so suppose this has a measure of, since that's in feet, we're going to say 0.3 feet, and this has a measure of 0.75 feet, and the height of the thing is 0.5. So we have 1/2 times the height of the trapezoid,
0.5.
which is 0.5, times the sum of 0.75 and 0.3,
So 1.05.
times the height of the whole thing. What's the height of the whole thing? 2. And then you multiply all that out. Now, in volume, look what we just did here. We multiplied 1/2 a foot times 1.05 feet times 2 feet to give us feet cubed. Okay? Feet cubed. So let's multiply this out and just see what we get.
Actually, what I got.
0.5 cubic feet. 0.5 cubic feet.
How'd you get 0.5?
Because 1/2, which is 0.5,
Okay.
times 0.5, times 1.05, times 2 equals 0.525, and I rounded to the nearest 10.
Oh, okay. I was expecting 0.5.
Okay,
Wait,
sorry.
do you want us to round on the test? Okay, so does it
I
matter?
will give you instructions on what to do. All right? Okay, so tonight, in those problems, in some of them, you have the picture drawn for you. In some of them, the picture is described to you. Okay? You don't actually have to draw the picture. If they tell you it has a triangular base, then you just need to know that your base is a triangle, and then you need to know the height of the object. Yes? Hang on. Okay, so what is your homework assignment? For those of you at home who hopefully are watching because you're not here, Josh Myers, I hope you feel better soon.
Oh, we're recording this one?
Yeah.
It's Jacob. I figured that out.
Chris Topham
Not
and Steve.
This is what we're looking at, and again, we will have a test on Thursday.
That's in 2 days.
Not this Thursday, next Thursday.
Oh, okay.
April
Do that
30th.
job this Thursday. You're ready for a test.